A local lawmaker looks to keep government zoning out of people's backyards. Commissioner John Paul Young is seeking answers about the authority of the Metropolitan Planning Commission and whether the Caddo Parish Commission could oversee zoning laws instead. Here's more on why he's doing this. Commissioner John Paul Young says he's acting on behalf of constituents who are unhappy with the Metropolitan Planning Commission.
A whole bunch of constituents who live in rural Caddo and outside the city limits have asked us to abolish their zoning.
He recently introduced a resolution that requested an opinion from the Louisiana Attorney General on whether the Caddo Parish Commission has the authority to function as a planning and zoning commission instead of the MPC, saying his constituents would prefer the elected officials over the appointed board.
Long history of dissatisfaction with some appointed boards that operate planning and zoning.
He says he found a provision under state law which would allow the Caddo Commission to act as the planning board, but clarity is needed from the Attorney General.
There's still a question of whether we would use MPC staff, which are civil servants, not appointed board members, to do that work.
He says there's not a lot of zoning cases for rural parts of the parish, about a dozen per year.
I think probably a small number of people could handle that, maybe more efficiently than the MPC.
The MPC still oversees Shreveport city limits, but after a recently approved state law change authored by Representative Danny McCormick, Caddo Parish is no longer legally bound to the MPC. Commissioner Young is asking whether they can take this a step further by having the commission take over. He says to please rural homeowners.
I think there is a feeling that in the countryside that zoning is a city phenomenon, which it is, and that the closer it gets to them, the less of the countryside there is left.
Now, Commissioner Young's resolution did not pass the last commission meeting. He says he'll bring it up again at the next one, but it may not be needed now. I spoke to Representative Danny McCormick today, who says he's sending his own request to the Attorney General to find out if the commission has the authority to act as a planning board or not.